Before we get into something truly surprising today, I want to ask you if you enjoy rare finds, forgotten treasures, and the kind of knowledge that could change how you look at everyday coins. Then make sure you subscribe to this channel right now. Because what I'm about to share might just leave you holding on to something worth far more than you think. Now let me take you back, not far, just 2 years ago. South Africa, 2023. A new series of coins begins to circulate. Fresh designs, new metal compositions, and a vision from the Reserve Bank to modernize, to secure, and to celebrate the nation's linguistic diversity and rich heritage. From that new issue came a modest coin, small, simple, silver in color, just 2 rand. But as we know, modesty can be deceptive. This is no ordinary coin. On one side, it bears two of the country's 11 official languages, Ndebele and Xitsonga. Two voices, two stories, engraved forever in metal. It reads South Africa and the year 2023. The reverse side features the springbok, strong, swift, in mid-leap, a symbol that reaches back into decades of national pride. The design itself is clean, balanced, and intentional that if you held one in your hand, you'd feel its weight, just over 6 grams. Not heavy, but solid. You'd see the interrupted reading along the edge, a built-in security feature, subtle, but noticeable to trained fingers. It's nickel-plated steel, resistant, durable, built to last, even if the currency it represents fades with time. At first glance, it's just a coin. Spend it, toss it in a drawer, give it as change. But here's what most people don't realize. Some coins are born for more than circulation. Some are meant to tell stories, to store value, and in rare cases, to change lives. Collectors, the serious ones, always watch for new issues. They don't wait years to act. They look for variations, for errors, for minting anomalies, things the average person would never notice. A doubled letter, a misaligned strike, a shimmer of uncirculated finish untouched by time or fingers. It's in those tiny details where true value hides. And this coin, this 2 rand from 2023, is starting to raise eyebrows. Not because every single one is worth a fortune, but because a few of them already are. Now let me speak to you man to man. If you're in your 50s or 60s, you've seen this before. You've seen things others overlooked become gold mines. You know the value of time, patience, and preparation. You've seen stamps, watches, land, even old cars rise from worthless to priceless in one lifetime. Coins are no different. This particular coin has already caught the attention of international collectors. Not all of them, but a select few. Why? Because when new series are issued, the very first batches, the early mints, can be incredibly valuable. Combine that with uncirculated condition, a perfect strike, and interest from a niche group of collectors, and suddenly you have something much more than pocket change. That it's not just about condition either. Rarity grows with time. Right now, millions of these coins exist. But how many will survive the next 10, 20, 30 years in mint condition? Very few. Most will get scratched, dropped, eroded by friction, faded by handling, and lost to time. But those few, sealed, preserved, untouched, will be the ones people chase in the future. That's where the opportunity is. Now let's go deeper. Coins are emotional assets. They're not just money. They are symbols, memory, heritage. You hold a coin, and you hold a piece of the year it came from. Wars have been funded with coins. Empires have fallen over coins. Families pass them down like stories. And when your grandchild asks, "What's this?" you're not just giving them metal. You're giving them history. So, what should you do if you have this coin? First, don't rush to spend it. Look at it. Examine it carefully. Is it flawless? Does it shine with that untouched brilliance? Are there any errors? If yes, you might already be ahead of the curve. Second, protect it. Store it properly, in a coin sleeve, capsule, or airtight case. The fewer hands touch it, the better. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't throw it into a pile. Preserve it as if it might be the last one of its kind. Third, pay attention. Watch the market. Trends change. What's ordinary today could become sought after tomorrow, especially with new collectors rising globally and modern coins gaining attention. The 2023 2 Rand has the makings of a future rarity. You might ask, why would anyone pay more for a coin still in circulation? Because that's how the collecting world works. Condition is king, rarity is queen, and demand is the hidden ace. There are collectors out there willing to pay hundreds or even thousands for what seems like a simple coin. If the story is right, the condition is perfect, and the desire runs deep. Now let me share something you've been waiting to hear. While most 2023 2 Rand coins are currently being sold for small premiums, just a few dollars depending on quality, there have been confirmed private sales behind closed doors where pristine, early minted, uncirculated examples have sold for prices far beyond expectations. One such coin, flawless, uncirculated, and verified by experts, was valued in a private appraisal at $1,800. Yes, you heard that right. $1,800 for a coin with a face value of just 2 Rand. Now let's be clear. Not every 2 Rand coin from 2023 is worth that. Most won't be. But the few that are, the ones sitting quietly in drawers or collections right now, may already be worth far more than anyone realizes. That's why you need to check. You need to be aware. You need to understand the value of what's in your hand before someone else does. So if you've got one, protect it. If you don't, maybe it's time to look for one at a local coin show, a market, or perhaps in your own change. Because sometimes the difference between loose change and life-changing value is just knowing what you're holding. Thank you for watching. I'll be sharing more stories, more secrets, and more real opportunities. And if you want to be ahead of the crowd, subscribe now and turn on notifications. Because the next coin I talk about could be sitting in your pocket.
Today, I'm going to take you on a fascinating journey into one particularly intriguing piece of numismatic history, the 1990 South African 2 Rand coin. Believe me, this is not your run-of-the-mill coin story. Whether you already collect or are just curious, stick around, because I'll reveal why this coin has been turning heads and what one version of it is supposedly valued at $46,900. Yes, you heard that right. But there's a twist to the story that many won't tell you up front. Let's set the scene first. The year is 1990, South Africa is in the throes of political and social transformation. Apartheid's grip is loosening, and the world is watching. In that climate, even everyday objects like coins become silent witnesses to change. It's in this context that the 2 Rand coin, part of the third decimal series, began to circulate. Now, at first glance, the coin looks modest, about 23 millimeters in diameter, weighing 5.50 grams, made of nickel-plated copper, with segmented reading on the edge. On the obverse, head side, you see the South African coat of arms, flanked by the bilingual name Suid Afrika, Afrikaans, and South Africa, English, and the date 1990, plus the initials ALS, for Arthur L. Sutherland, the engraver. On the reverse, tail side, there's an elegant depiction of a greater kudu, the majestic antelope known for its spiraled horns, and the denomination 2 Rand together with ALS again. Official mint records show that 70,655,000 were struck for circulation that year, so in raw numbers, this coin is relatively common. There was also a small proof or uncirculated edition, about 10,000 units, included in the total count. Given that high volume, ordinarily one would not expect dramatic prices, and most coins in average to good condition tend to trade for dollars, not tens of thousands. So how on earth does a coin like this suddenly command a figure like $46,900? The answer lies in rarities, anomalies, condition, and narrative, the very things that drive collector fascination higher than simple supply and demand. Let me explain how value escalates in the world of coins, especially for older or historically loaded specimens, condition and grade. The difference between circulated, very fine, extremely fine, almost uncirculated, and mint state is massive. A coin highly worn, with scratches and loss of detail, is far less desirable than one that is crisp, sharp, and possibly still bearing original luster. Many common coins might be worth only a few dollars in worn condition, but in perfect, mint-grade condition, collectors may pay premiums of dozens or hundreds of times more. Errors and varieties. Coins with minting errors, double strikes, off-center images, planchette flaws, wrong metal, die cracks, misalignments are the stuff that stir up passions. A single coin with a glaring mint error, especially from a year or issuance where few survive, can fetch surprising sums. The idea is simple: error plus rarity equals desirability. Provenance and certification. A coin accompanied by strong documentation, grading from a recognized authority, e.g. NGC, PCGS, or an interesting ownership history boosts confidence for buyers. People will pay more for secure, verified pieces than for coins shrouded in mystery. Narrative and timing. A coin struck in a politically transformative year, or associated with a historical turning point, carries emotional weight. Collectors want more than metal and design, they want a story. The narrative that ties the coin to a period of transition or upheaval gives it resonance. Perceived rarity and market hype. In some cases, the perception of rarity or investment potential can feed a feedback loop. People hear about a rare 1992 Rand coin and begin chasing it, elevating demand beyond what fundamentals might suggest. Sometimes a single high sale or rumor can propel prices upward dramatically for that issue. Now, let's imagine a scenario. Suppose there exists one 1992 Rand coin, in perfect mint state, with a major minting error that nobody else has, plus full grading stamp and documented provenance from a historic South African collection. In that extreme case, a speculative collector might believe in its one-of-a-kind potential and bid extremely high, perhaps pushing it toward that $46,900 figure. Of course, it's important to emphasize, $46,900 is not a typical price for a standard 1992 Rand coin. Most regular ones trade in the 60 cents to $5 or so range depending on condition. Even coins in very fine to uncirculated state may fetch only moderate amounts unless they carry a rare twist. Still, the dramatic price serves as a powerful hook and conversation starter, and that's exactly why I wanted to explore it with you today. How to spot if yours could be that one. If you or someone you know holds a 1992 Rand coin, here are steps to check whether it has rare potential, and maybe justify a higher value. Examine sharpness of detail. Are the horns of the kudu distinctly visible? Are letters crisp or worn? Any softness may knock down value. Look for anomalies, misalignments, doubled lettering, metal inconsistencies, cracks in the die, or off-center strikes. Use magnification. Check for grading or certification. Has it ever been submitted to a grading agency? Is there paperwork or a known pedigree? Compare with auction records. Search genuine past sales for 1992 Rand coins with unusual features or ultra-high grades. Talk to reputable numismatists. Experts in South African coins or world coins may know if the piece is exceptional. If you find compelling anomalies, get it certified and documented. That's how you turn a modest coin into something collectors fight over. Now, before I wrap, I want to circle back. Yes, that eye-popping number I teased earlier, $46,900, might sound outrageous for a 2 Rand coin. But it's not pulled from thin air in this kind of content. The point is that some versions, under the rarest conditions, are claimed to command such attention, or at least are marketed as such. Use that figure as a dramatic punchline to draw interest, but always with the caveat that it's for an extreme outlier, not the run-of-the-mill coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into numismatic mystery, don't forget, subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated on more rare coin stories I'll share. And if you happen to own a 1992 Rand, inspect it closely, document what you find, and maybe it's not just a piece of metal, maybe it's a hidden gem.